National Cemetery is the final resting place for more than 11,000 servicemen and women. It's one of 155 national cemeteries managed by the Department of Veterans Affairs. Kentucky's VA Commissioner Whitney Allen was the keynote speaker for today's ceremony, which included wreath presentations followed by rifle volleys and taps. Our Brooke Hash and photojournalist Jessica Farley share the historical significance of these grounds and its namesake.
Nestled along Brownsboro Road in Louisville, it's long been a place of reflection and tranquility.
Everyone who comes to Zachary Taylor comments about what a beautiful setting this is. I think it kind of being surrounded in a suburban area, it's got mature trees here, it does have rolling hills. It's just a very scenic cemetery.
An act of Congress recognized it as a national cemetery in 1926, and today is the final resting place for soldiers dating back to the Revolutionary War and as current as Iraqi freedom.
Zachary Taylor's kind of an older cemetery, so the family for a lot of these veterans have moved on. They're not in the area anymore. A lot of these guys really don't get the attention they would, say, if they were in a more contemporary national cemetery. So particularly for Zachary Taylor, we got to keep focus on it just to remind ourselves and remind the community what these veterans did for us throughout the years.
A monument of its namesake, America's 12th president, Zachary Taylor, a career U.S. Army officer, towers 50 feet high, overlooking not one, but two of his burial sites.
That is the original spot where Zachary Taylor was buried when he was brought to Kentucky. When he passed away in July of 1850, he was initially buried at the Congressional Burial Grounds near Washington, D.C., and then in 1851, almost a year later, he was brought to Kentucky. He was brought down a steamboat on the Ohio River. The boat was named the Navigator. It landed at Louisville. The governor of Kentucky, the mayor of Louisville, gave speeches, and there's a big ceremony.
His resting place was later viewed as inadequate for a president, and so he was later moved in 1926 into a new mausoleum just feet away. Taylor's remains would endure one final disturbance.
Some people were theorizing that he was poisoned by some of his political opponents in the South.
This could change the course of history if they found out that this man was killed by arsenic poison, then Lincoln wouldn't have been the first president to be assassinated.
In 1991, he was exhumed for analysis, quickly determining the president died of natural causes. Today, he rests alongside 11,000 of his brothers and sisters who served. Names including Robley Rex, who served in World War I, and John Squires, a World War II Medal of Honor recipient.
One of the things we like to say is a person dies twice. There's a physical death that you go through, and then the second death is the last time somebody says your name. So we kind of like to make sure that at least a lot of these events we come out here, that people go and visit these graves, even if it's somebody they don't know, and just read their name aloud and thank them for their service.
In Louisville with photojournalist Jessica Farley, Brooke Hash, WHAS 11 on your side.
On this holiday weekend, you'll find flags at many of the grave sites of our servicemen and women placed by local scouts or the VFW. Come December, Wreaths Across America takes on the task of placing a wreath at each of these grave sites. Learn how you can sponsor a wreath, volunteer, or partner with the organization by visiting this story on WHAS11.com.